I'm Steve Guggenheim, and this is Travel with Googs. Among the best vacations we ever had with our kids, and without them, at the same time, skiing. For a dozen years, from the time our twins were 6, we took them skiing during the December holiday week. We visited many of the resorts in Vermont and Maine, and also ventured into New Hampshire. When they were young, we put them in a program called Ski-Wee. We would drop them off at 9 in the morning and pick them up around 3 or 4. That way, we vacationed with them, but had time to ourselves during the day without them. It was a win-win situation, and we all looked forward to this vacation. We always stayed in a slopeside condo, so there was no packing them into the car, no driving, no parking, just convenience. It was well worth the money. We also saved a lot by cooking in rather than going to a restaurant. As they got older, they could ski with us or on their own. Not only that, they became excellent skiers, well surpassing me in my ability. One of the best slopes for a family is Okemo in southern Vermont. It's a medium-sized resort and a place we all felt really comfortable and safe. There are very few restaurants on slope or nearby, so there wasn't a tendency to leave the mountain for the 5 days we were there. The scenery is beautiful, with forests of pine trees that seem very small since they're buried in snow. A fun place to warm up on the top of the mountain was the beach house. Another great family ski resort is Smuggler's Notch in northern Vermont. They cater to families, and it's fun to go on a sleigh ride. One of the top areas in New England is Stowe, which is on the other side of the mountain from Smuggler's Notch. But the best New England area, at least in my estimation, is Sunday River in Maine. One of the best reasons to go is for the snow. When other ski areas have no or limited operations because of a lack of the white stuff, Sunday River is open. It's very big and will take you a while to ski from one side of the mountain to the other. I know that because it took an hour for me to get back to our condo when it started to rain. There is varied terrain and a slope called White Heat that is very steep, with warnings that people have been killed skiing there. One of my sons took me there and it took me forever to get down, but I did survive. There are even pins you can buy saying I skied White Heat. While driving to Maine from New York takes longer than going to many resorts in Vermont, we always thought it worthwhile. A benefit is the town of Bethel and good food at the Bethel Inn. Staying in Maine, a good place to ski is Sugarloaf. Back in Vermont, one of the biggest ski areas is Killington with a lot of B&Bs on the access road. It used to be a tougher mountain because of all the moguls or ski bumps, but new owners have eliminated some of those. Partly because of its location, the ski area is popular with teens, giving it a party scene feel. You can also get some good food in the town of Rutland. Weekends, as in most ski areas, can be quite crowded. On the other side of the mountain is Pico, a ski resort frequently used by locals. It is a fun place to ski, and you don't have to be an expert to go through the glades, an area populated by trees. It's generally less crowded than Killington. My only problem with the place is several times we were there, they lost power, so we had to wait until it was restored. I have no idea if they fixed it, but it's something we experienced. Despite that, it's one of my favorite places to ski. If you're an expert skier, head to Mad River Glen. It's tough. Luckily, they let us take a few runs early in the day to check out the conditions. We left. It was just too difficult. There are a number of other ski areas in Vermont we've been to. Sugarbush and its cousin Sugarbush North are nice places. Bromley's a nice small mountain. Mount Snow is very popular and especially crowded on weekends because it's at the bottom of the state and a shorter drive for those in the New York metropolitan area. We tried skiing Jay Peak at the top of Vermont but never got on the slopes since high winds closed the mountain. Nearby New Hampshire has a number of resorts. We skied Attitash for a week and you'd better get used to ice. I can't say it's like that all the time, but it certainly was when we were there. In New York State, head to Whiteface, where they held the Olympics in 1932 and 1980. One of the nice things about being there is you can watch Olympic trials such as ice dancing. New Jersey has Mountain Creek. Expect big weekend crowds. The same with many of the Pennsylvania resorts, such as Camelback. Heading out west, my favorite is Vail. It's gigantic but very expensive. There's a lot of varied terrain and the back country can be quite challenging. Vail Village is quaint with beautiful shops and restaurants. It's hit and miss on the quality of food, but you can get some inexpensive meals, such as Pazzo's Pizza. I prefer Blue Moose Pizza at Lion's Head. Vail Village is filled with clothing and souvenir shops. My favorite is Wild Bill's Emporium, where you can get one-of-a-kind doodads, Western hats, boots, and other items. Another store, Kemosabe, is filled with Western boots and hats. It's fun to see the different designs and colors and to choke at the prices. By the way, there are free buses that connect East and West Vail and Vail Village and Lion's Head. A short distance from Vail is Beaver Creek. Great skiing at the end of the day. When you're coming off the slopes, they serve you scrumptious chocolate chip cookies. The ski area has a lot of nice shops and restaurants and an ice rink in the middle of the village. And it's nice ogling the beautiful chalets lining the access road. Former President Gerald Ford had one of the slopeside houses. About a half hour from Vail is Breckenridge, which has a great downtown and delicious and more affordable restaurants. It's a fun place with festivities such as the Uller Festival. You pray to Uller to bring more snow. People dress up in Viking costumes and have the most ridiculous-looking floats. We lucked out seeing it once. They keep changing the time it's held, so you have to check the calendar. As for skiing, the mountain has some very wide open areas with heavy winds that can blow you down the slope. When you're out west, the altitude can be a problem. I never had a problem at Vail, but my wife did. Then again, I had problems at Breckenridge and she didn't. They sell canisters of oxygen, but I never found it helpful. Frequently while out west for a week, we'll take a day and drive to different areas that we haven't skied. Steamboat Springs is another fun town. Aspen has a lot of things going on. If you don't like to ski with snowboarders, head to Utah and Deer Valley on the outskirts of Park City, which has banned them. It has wide, beautiful slopes and is best for intermediate skiers. The Park City ski area itself can be reached by a lift in town. Alta, about a half hour away, has excellent skiing, but you have to get used to that altitude. If you go to Park City, make sure to take a day and visit the Olympic Village, where you can see some of the activities that took place during the Games in 2002. Another fun place that held the Olympics, this time in 1960, is Squaw Valley, California. You're whisked up the mountain in gondolas that take you to bowls, wide, beautiful areas without any trails. Nearby is Alpine Meadows. You'll definitely enjoy skiing that mountain. A popular ski area in the Lake Tahoe area is Heavenly. Skiing is fine, but I had a better time at the other resorts. When you ski, it doesn't just have to be downhill. We sometimes supplement our visits with days spent cross-country skiing. It's a fantastic workout and a way to save some money, since trail costs are a fraction of what they are for downhill. Overall, I prefer skiing out west. The snow is nicer with less ice. There's a constant argument over who's the better skier, those in the east or west. If you can ski the east with all of its ice and granular conditions, you're probably better. But then again, skiing in powder, which I've never mastered, is a lot of fun. It's odd when you ski powder because your skis are buried in the white fluffy stuff, something you really have to get used to. Another big advantage for the West, the nightlife seems to be better, with plenty of restaurants. I'm Steve Guggenheim, and this is Travel with Googs.